welcome to another Friday night with Actors Theater of Indiana, our home to your home. Thank you so much for tuning in again. We are really, really appreciative of everyone that's been watching us. I think this is our 5th week now and coming to us from our respective homes during the pandemic. Before we get started tonight, I would like to thank our sponsors. Very, very important. United Fidelity Bank, the Hamilton County Reporter, and Good Day Carmel. And I want to thank these people because they are wonderful supporters of ATI, and they understand the importance of the arts, not just during this time, but all the time, right? But especially now, especially now when we can't do anything. So this is what we have to do. So they understand the importance of keeping the arts out there during the COVID-19. We thought tonight, now let me tell you about our lineup first, before I jump to what we're going to do. Our lineup, our special, very special guest tonight is Mr. Brent Marty. Woo, yay. Now, Brent is the Director of Music and Education at the Booth-Tarkington Civic Theater. And a very dear friend. And a very good friend of ours. Yes. And Brent is wonderful. He has musical directed some of our productions, and he is just top notch. So Brent's going to be joining us tonight from his home. And I don't know what, I was going to say something else about him, but he's a great guy and we really respect him and love him. Yeah. But the lineup is us, and then of course Jim Riley, then Brent, and then Don Farrell, our associate, will close it out. So now we thought from now on, we thought we'd do something a little different. The past 4 weeks, we've just been picking music and from our repertoire and what we wanted to sing. But we're going to start this week with going from the very beginning of ATI. We incorporated the company in 2005. So tonight we're going to sing some songs from that first season. And we opened our theater company with a show called My Way, tribute to Frank Sinatra. And even though that was the first show that ATI did, wasn't the first time we did it. We actually did it right before that down in Georgia. We did the Atlanta premiere with Georgia Ensemble Theater. And they were a wonderful theater company to us. Bob and Anita Farley are the founders down there. And our mentors. And they were our mentors, and really wonderful, wonderful people. We wouldn't have been able to start our theater company without Bob and Anita. We wouldn't be here without Bob and Anita. Yeah, we just wouldn't. And they're wonderful people. We love them very much. And so we did My Way down there, and then we brought it up here when we started the company. So it was a huge, huge help to have done it down there. The cast was me, Cindy Collins, Judy Fitzgerald, yes. Don Farrell, and John Lambert. We came here and auditioned for the show and found John Lambert. Great and guy. Terry Woods, Terry Woods musical directed it. Terry Woods, same person has been doing our music tracks for this. So that was the cast. And then we did Cole after that. And that was the three of us again, because we were just starting out. So we were doing everything. And then it was Carlton Turner, yep, and Julia Victrup and Bradley Reynolds. They were the other people in the show. And then Forever Plaid. We're going to let Don tell you all about Forever Plaid because he is a plaid. Correct? A long-time plaid. Long-time plaid. Original learning. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, so I'm going to sing first tonight. And when we would like to dedicate this, right? Oh, great. Yeah. Let's go ahead, Judy. Well, I was going to say to Joe Trackmas, who was a huge loss today, a huge supporter of the arts. Mm-hmm. And Joe was amazing. And she was a big supporter of ATI, and what a huge loss. So we want to dedicate this whole thing to Joe. Mm-hmm. And our kids, and so, yeah, Joe was a real powerhouse. She was a really wonderful woman, and really, like Judy said, real supporter of the arts. And also to Bob Farley, we have to put that out there too. Bob was a big loss too. So it, hopefully, I don't know, we can bring joy to some people in this. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to do a little Frank Sinatra. Can't do it without a fedora. Get mine on proper, I hope. Yeah, without a mirror. Not good. I'm trying to see in the movie. You can see yourself on the camera. I can. All right. Well, this is Collins. We're going to let her take this away, and she's going to help me with my number. Thank goodness. We'll explain that later. Oh, after we make our cocktail. She's pushing me away. After we make our cocktail, which we will be making tonight. Okay. All right, Techie. You ready, Freddie? just picked me a plum. You came along and everything started to hum. Still, it's a real good thing. The best is yet to come. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fun? You think you've seen that sun, but you ain't seen it shine. Wait till the warm-up's underway. Wait till our lips have met. Wait till you see that sunshine day. You ain't seen nothing yet. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. Come the day you're mine. I'm gonna teach you to fly. We've only tasted the wine. We're gonna drain that cup dry. Wait till your charms are right for my arms to surround. You think you've flown, but babe, you ain't left the ground. Wait till you're locked in my embrace. Wait till I draw you near. Wait till you see that sunshine place. Ain't nothing like it here. The best is yet to come, and baby, won't it be fine? The best is yet to come the day you're mine. There we go. Little Francis Sinatra. Okay, so before we go to our next song, we're going to make a cocktail.
Ready.
We started doing this last week. Last week, the cocktail was named the Isolation. And this week, we thought, come into the camera, Judy.
Oh, I know.
So you can
Camera?
make it.
Hi.
We thought we would name it in honor of the Rat Pack, the Angie Dickinson. Now, you might not understand that, but Angie Dickinson was the honorary woman in the Rat Pack. So I'm going to go behind the bar here.
We're gonna make a drink.
Okay, now, here we go.
We gotta
First,
make
we start with a very important ingredient, vodka.
Okay. But
Vodka.
how much?
Number
I
one ingredient.
think it's 2 ounces. So we're
Yep.
gonna do an ounce.
Go ahead.
It's spilled a little.
That's all right.
Right.
It just cleans the bar.
It does really. It's actually a cleansing.
Okay, next, a little grapefruit juice.
agent.
Yeah, go ahead and put the grapefruit juice in.
And we stir this.
Fresh grapefruit juice.
A little bit there.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
just kind of, whatever, you know what, listen.
We'd like a little more
We're
juice.
really not measuring really for sure. It's just the way you like it.
Fresh squeeze.
Fresh squeezed lemon juice, a shot. Okay, a little simple syrup because the grapefruit juice, and we're gonna put Cointreau in there.
A
to be
little bit, not too much. A little bit.
To be a little bitter. And then put a little Cointreau in.
Okay. I think you have to shake. I'm sure
Well,
I
but
did.
why not?
Okay,
Just a little bit, because it's really strong.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Lids on everything.
Yeah.
To be safe.
Shake it up.
Got it. Right?
We like shaking.
You want to shake it a little? All right.
All
All
right.
right. Little shake. All right.
All right. Now,
And
hold
we
on.
need the garnish. Do you want me to get
Little
the rim
garnish.
already?
Yeah. So a little lemon.
Around the edge.
Okay.
Squeeze it.
Around the edge.
Put it in.
Yeah.
Another one.
Yep.
Around the edge.
Yeah.
Put it in.
Yep.
All right.
Pour this,
Pour in.
pour this baby.
I hope it's good.
That's nice.
Okay, hold on. Hold
You
on.
can't have any
That's
You don't
fine.
have any.
That's fine.
techie.
Yeah, take it.
Saying it's nice to say, I hope it's good.
You
Well,
can't,
no.
you can't have any of that, excuse me.
All right.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. See how it works. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's good.
Really good.
All right. Judy-
Wow, that's good.
Very good. Judy, get in a place. Judy's
I'm
gonna
getting a
sing now.
place. I might even bring my sheet music. I don't think I need it, but I might bring it. It's been a while. since Granny sang. Okay, I'm ready. So Lizzie,
Yes.
what we're gonna do, this was actually the Act One closer, and Collins is gonna help me. So she's gonna stay behind me, and she's gonna join me a little bit in the end of this song. It's a beautiful song. It's called All the Way. And it was the Act One closer when we did My Way. Are you ready, my girl?
I am ready.
When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Happy to be near you when you need someone to cheer you all the way. Taller than the tallest trees. That's how it's got to feel. Deeper than the deep blue seas. That's how deep it feels when it's real. If somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Through the good and lean years and through all the in-between years, come what may, who knows where the road will lead us? Only a fool would say. But if you let me love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love you all the way. Closer, Act One, My Way, the very first show of Actors Theater of Indiana Incorporated in 2005. Now we're going to pass it off to our very good friend and executive director, James Ragtime Riley.
Mr. B, as I always call him, Mr. Big, who we love more than anything. How
Thank you,
doing?
ladies. Well, thank you, ladies. As you all probably know by now, I don't sing, I don't dance, I don't act. But I'll play a few songs for you. We're going to start with Irving Berlin's song, and we're going to finish with Irving Berlin's song. And I think you'll recognize the other ones. Enjoy. I hope you enjoyed those little ragtime song there. It's my honor to introduce our next guest. I think Judy and Cindy already introduced him, but I'll do it again anyway. What's his name again? Oh yeah, Brent Marty from the Civic Theater is here. He's a very talented musician. Brent, and I'll turn everything over to you, bud.
Oh,
Take
well,
care.
thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. B. Come on along and hear Alexander's Ragtime Band. That was really fun. Thanks for sharing that. Hi, everybody. I'm just jumping on the bandwagon here and making my own little cocktail, as it were. So hopefully you're joining me on this lovely Friday evening. Oh, yes. Delicious. So I'm not going to do any Frank Sinatra tonight, but I am going to do someone pretty close to Sinatra, if you're a fan of that type of genre. I was really fortunate to music direct My Way the last time that ATI did it. It was really fun. And also Forever Plaid that Don is going to do something from in just a few minutes. So here's to both of those shows. Ooh, delicious. And here's to all of you at home tonight. So this song, first song, is a little mashup. The mashup being a song from a show that ATI just did and has done, and the other song from a show that I think a lot of people would love ATI to do sometime in the near future. So join me, if you will, with a little Streisand medley, yes. Pretty women, fascinating, sipping coffee, dancing. Pretty women are a wonder. Pretty women sitting in the window, standing on the stair. Something in them cheers the air. Pretty women, silhouetted, stay within you, glancing, stay forever, breathing lightly. Pretty women, blowing out their candles or combing out their hair. Even when they leave, they still are there. They're there. Sipping coffee. Well, here's to the ladies who lunch. Everybody laugh. Lounging in their caftans and planning a brunch on their own behalf. Off to the gym and then to a fitting, claiming they're fat and looking grim 'cause they've been sitting, choosing a hat. I'll drink to that. And one for Joe Trachonimus. Yes. And here's to the girls who just watch. Aren't they the best? When they get depressed, it's a bottle of scotch plus a little jest. Another chance to disapprove. Another brilliant singer. Another reason not to move. Another vodka stinger. I'll drink to that. And here's to the girls who play wife. Aren't they too much? Keeping house but clutching a copy of life just to keep in touch. The ones who follow the rules and meet themselves at the schools. Too busy to know that they're fools. Aren't they a gem? Oh, I'll drink to them. Oh, let's all drink to pretty women. Fascinating how they make a man sing. Here's to the girls on the go. Everybody tries. Look into their eyes and you'll see what they know. Everybody dies. A toast to that invincible bunch. The dinosaurs survived in the crunch. Let's hear it for the ladies who lunch. Everybody rise. Everybody rise. Pretty women rise. Yes, everybody rise. Yes, the first song was from Sweeney Todd, if you didn't know. The second one from Company. Great shows. Like I said, that arrangement is from Barbra Streisand's first Broadway album. I'll drink to that. And I'll tell you a little story. I used to do an audition song, and I would take along a little portrait of Barbra Streisand with me and then pull it out at the end of the audition. I thought I was being very clever. Funnily enough, I never got cast out of any of those auditions, so I'm not sure why. Anyway, from the lovely review, starting here, starting now. Here's Barbra. Barbra. They ought to name a star for Barbra. For any place we are, it's Barbra, who simply floods my world with light. Somehow, whenever I feel lost, it's Barbra who comes along, takes whatever's wrong, and makes it seem all right. Someday, I'm gonna write a song for Barbra and make it rich and strong to tell her the love I feel inside that somehow never shows. I need her, each day it grows. But somehow I think that Barbra already knows. Barbra. So it's been an honor to be with you tonight. Thank you, Actors Theater. I'm just going to give a little plug. As was mentioned earlier, I work with the Booth Tarkington Civic Theater, and we have been offering online classes throughout this whole crazy time of staying indoors. So if you're interested in anything like that, looking at some of our programming for youth and other things, please visit our website, which is civictheater.org, and make sure you spell theater with an R-E, because we're fancy, like Miss Holly likes to say. Shout out to Miss Holly. And now I think I have the distinct pleasure of turning this over to the one, the only Mr. Don Farrell. Take it away.
Mr. Brent Marty, you were marvelous.
Thank
You were absolutely brilliant. Loved it. I decided to dress up for the occasion. Yes, these are forever plaid jackets. And back in the day, I learned this show all the way back in 1995 from the original creators of it, Larry Rabin and Guy Stroman and David Engel. And then fast forward to 2000, 2001, I did the show at the Las Vegas Flamingo, the Las Vegas Hilton, Flamingo Hilton, famous. But like Judy and Cindy had said earlier, we're going through Dress Up for the Occasion, starting with our inaugural season in 2005 for Actors Theater of Indiana. We are the resident professional theater company at the Center for the Performing Arts. We're an equity theater company, and we're going into our 16th season. And we're going to be announcing our 16th season on Tuesday, May 12th at 7:30 right here on our Facebook Live. So what better way to build up the anticipation for our Sweet 16 season than to kind of have a little retrospect and start with our season. We were going by calendar year back then when we moved from New York City and inaugurated and incorporated our 501c3 organization, Actors Theater of Indiana, in March of 2005. So like they said, and we sang, we presented the Indiana premiere of My Way, a musical tribute to Frank Sinatra. I wore a tuxedo in that. Then we went to, and they told you about the wonderful cast that we had. Oh, to add to that cast, not only was Terry Woods our music director and marvelous pianist, but that also, we had Tom Harvey on drums. Tom Harvey on drums. God rest his soul. We love you, Tom. Tom was our very first percussionist drummer. And then Don Jenkins was on bass. It was a combo that we had at the Zionsville Performing Arts Center back in 2005. And all the way back then, we still have fans who were family members back in 2005. And to this day, they are still very, very valued ATI family members. So I want to give a shout out to Dave and Cindy Swider, and Vic and Judy Edwards, and of course, Kathy and David Duclos, and of course, Judy's family, my family, Cindy's family, of course, we had so many people, and there's so many other people that I want to thank. But for all of you who have stayed with us through all of these years, we can't thank you enough for being such an important part of our family. So that was our first show with John Lambert at Zionsville Performing Arts Center. And oh, I went to the archives and I thought I'd pull this out for you guys. That was our very first postcard. Look at the gams on Cindy, huh? Woohoo! So that was the cast that we did at July 14th to the 24th of 2005. Then we head downtown to the Indiana History Center at the Frank and Katrina Basile Theater, and we performed the Indiana Professional premiere. It had been done in community theaters, but never an equity theater company before, of the musical Cole, and that was that we had done. And that was done September 1st to the 4th in 2005. And we had local favorites, Carlton Turner and Julia Victrup, and a good friend of mine who was a Speedway high school graduate and gone on to be a big old Broadway man, Broadway producer and actor in New York City, Bradley Reynolds. He was in that show along with Judy, Cindy, and myself. And Cindy and I co-choreographed that show. And then in December, we headed back up to the Zionsville Performing Arts Center where we did Forever Plaid. And Forever Plaid, here's the old program from that. It was our playbill back in the day at Zionsville Performing Arts Center. And that was December 21st to the 30th. And when I first learned this show, I learned it at the Forestburg Playhouse. Like I mentioned, Larry Rabin and Guy Stroman directed us. And it was Aidan Connolly, who was as Frankie. And he is now the executive director of the Irish Arts Center in New York City. So shout out to Aidan. Love you, Aidan. Miss you, Goober. And then our Jinx was Mickey Nugent, lovely, talented New York Broadway actor who is now out in Arizona, doing great directing out in Arizona and choreographing and teaching out in Arizona. So my love to Mickey Nugent. And then Mark Rubman was our Smudge. And so he's out doing, has his own physical therapy class that he does. And so shout out to Mark. But this gang that we had starring as Frankie, Michael Dotson, my good friend Michael Dotson, who he and I did Forever Plaid out in Las Vegas. He was our Frankie. He came out from Los Angeles to join us. And then yours truly, is Sparky. And then John Lambert was in as Jinx, and Smudge was Scott Gagno. Scott Gagno used to live here, and now he's out in Los Angeles doing big things. And the announcer, the voice of God, was Jim Ream of the University of Indianapolis. Terry Woods is the pianist and music director, and our bassist, Uncle Chester, was Don Jenkins. So Forever Plaid is such a very near and dear show to myself, for me, because ATI really wouldn't exist if it weren't for Forever Plaid, and I'll tell you why. Because Forever Plaid I had done it forever. I was forever in Forever Plaid. And Bob and Anita Farley of Georgia Ensemble in my hometown of Roswell, Georgia, they took a chance on me back in 1998. And said, yeah, why don't you come and direct Forever Plaid? It's the hot thing right now. And so I went and directed it. And that was my very first professional directing gig. And that led to doing the Taffetas and doing Taffeta Christmas and Grand Night for Singing and My Way and so many others for Georgia Ensemble. And then we were talking, Judy and Cindy and I, we were thinking, maybe we got something here. Maybe we start a theater company of our own. And after 9/11, we moved here and we started that. So no more talking, but this is from Forever Plaid. Forever Plaid, I played Sparky, and you can see the interior. Nice, isn't that nice? And also Sparky had a speech impediment. All the four guys had 4 different idiosyncrasies. Frankie had asthma, he had to use his inhaler. Smudge was dyslexic and needed his glasses. And Jinx, when he's hanging really high, he would get a nosebleed. And Sparky was hyperactive and had a speech impediment. Most people spoke with a lateral lisp, and I spoke with a whistling of my isses. And he had a retainer, which still fits, as does the jacket. So now I am going to do for you a number called Gotta Be This or That Undecided. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I hope it sounds okay. We're still playing with sound. All right. Gotta be this or that undecided. It's been a while since I've done this. Tell me what I must know, pretty baby, or otherwise I must know, pretty baby, it's yes or no. Gotta be this or that. If you ain't wrong, you're right. If it ain't dark, it's light. If you ain't sure, you might. Gotta be this or that. If it's not full, it's blank. If you don't spend your bank, if it's not big, it's frank. Gotta be this or that. Who can it be if it ain't me? I know it's not your brother. Can't you see? It's gotta be one way or the other. Tell me what I must know. If you don't like, I'll go. If it ain't yes, it's no. Gotta be this or that. Full, blank, being frank. Yes, no, let's go. You say it's yes and then it's no. You say you stay and then you go. You're undecided now. So what are you gonna do? Ow. First you say you do and then you don't. And then you say you will and then you won't. You're undecided now. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Do. Now you wanna play and then it's no. And when you say, that's when you go. You're undecided now. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I've been sitting on the fence and it doesn't make me sense cause you keep me in suspense and you know it. You promise to return when you don't, I really burn. Well, I guess I'll never learn and I show it. If you got a heart and if you're kind, then don't keep us apart, make up your mind. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, in your heart, yeah, in your heart, yeah, in your heart, yeah.
First you say you do and then you don't.
No, you don't.
And then you say you will and then you won't.
No, you won't. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? Well, what's it gonna be?
Now you wanna play and then it's no.
Then it's no.
And when you say you stay, that's when you go.
When you go, you're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? Yes, no, stay, go. In your heart, 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 in your heart. You're so indecisive. You got a heart, and if you're kind, then don't keep us apart. Make up your mind. You're indecisive now, so what are you gonna do? You say it's yes and then it's no. You say you'll stay and then you go. You're undecided now, so what are you gonna do? Do I, yes, no, stay, go, and do I? Yeah. Woo. That was Forever Plaid. Woo. It's been a while since I've done that one. But such a fun show. It's like a fraternity, you know? The guys, the friendships that we made, that's the wonderful thing about theater in itself. It's a fraternity, it's a sorority, you create friendships that you'll keep forever and ever. Let me put this over here. Then, and like, you know, we were talking earlier about Bob and Anita and how important they are and mentors to us. We've got mentors in different types of businesses and walks of life. And for us, it was Bob and Anita Farley. And for me, when I moved here, Jo Reed Trakamus. She was such a wonderful teacher to so many. She gave so much love to everybody. And that's the beautiful thing about theater. And it brings so many people from so many walks of life and different types to come together and support each other. Even if you just met for the first time, it's so beautiful. So we will certainly miss her. And we dedicate this evening to her, as well as our friends down in Georgia, Bob and Anita. And that's the thing about this theater. There's so much great art that's going on. I saw Brent and Holly Stoltz-Haas earlier today, Britt Marty and Holly Stoltz-Haas, who were doing their thing with Civic and beautiful stuff. And earlier today, I saw at Beef and Boards Dinner Theater, I was seeing my friend Jill Kelly Howe, and she was doing her thing for Beef and Boards. And there's so many other things. Andrew, there's so many people that are doing so many great inventive things. And it made me think there's such this during this downtime, during these challenges, there's going to be amazing art on the other side. Did you know that the greatest writer of our language, Shakespeare, William Shakespeare, during the pandemic, that was the big plague that was going on, where 1 in 5 Londoners passed away, he was in quarantine and he wrote King Lear. Yeah, so that gives us all hope, right? There's so many great things that are going to come out of this very challenging time, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together. And it's also a true testament to the resilience of theater and art. For my second song that I'd like to do, it's from My Way, a musical tribute to Frank Sinatra. And this song was written by Bart Howard in 1954, and it was originally recorded by Kay Ballard. And the title of the song was originally called In Other Words. And they changed the title. And I think you might know what it was, especially, here's another big hint, that NASA played this song for all of the astronauts when they were on their way for their first trip to the moon. So here is In Other Words, or Fly Me to the Moon. Okay. I gotta put it back here. All right. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Take it. Fly me to the moon and let me sing among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss me. Fill my heart with song and let me sing forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Take it, Terry. Terry Woods on the piano. Terry does all of our arrangements for these Friday night quarantines. We love him. Love you, Terry. In other words, please be true. In other words, I love you. Thank you, guys. Yeah. And thank you all for tuning in again with us this Friday night for ATIs From Our Homes to Yours. We love you all, and thank you so much for inviting us into your home living rooms. Take care of yourselves and each other. Let's give it back. Where's Brent and Marty?
Hey,
There's
thanks,
Brent and
Don.
Marty. Hey, Jim Riley,
Had a great night.
You guys,
Judy and Cindy. Wait, I want to check. I got to catch up with you guys for a second.
Maybe they
Brent
can
Marty.
can they put us all up? Put us all up on the screen.
Yeah, I
Come
think
on.
we're all up.
Yeah.
I think we're all up. How are you doing over there, Mr. Marty?
Oh, hanging in there. Me and my good friend Gian.
Well, in honor of Frank Sinatra, I decided to pour me a good old what is he like? Oh my gosh, Jack Daniels. Why am I forgetting it? I can't believe I forgot Jack
I don't
Daniels.
know, because you've had too much.
Is that what it is? Judy and Cindy, how are you doing on toilet paper? You holding up?
Oh,
We got it. Excellent. And if we run out, we have plenty of
Good.
bars now.
that's good to know. You
And,
worried?
and
Worried if you
Mr. B, how are you doing? How are you and PJ doing?
doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
You guys are
How's
awesome. I
PJ's
love
foot?
listening to the piano.
How's
You're so good,
PJ's
Mr. B.
How is PJ's foot?
It's still broken.
Still broken. Bless.
All right.
Bless her heart.
Tell her we send our love. Love to all of you out there in internet land at Facebook.
Yes.
next
Thanks to all
Friday
my
night.
friends who tuned in tonight. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thank you, too.